Alright, so with a huge round of applause for Anik Singal. Come on.
अरे इंडिया नमस्ते इंडिया क्या I'm just amazed. I am absolutely amazed. I'm amazed. It is such an honor to be here. Such an honor to be here. Thank you. Thank you. And give yourselves a round of applause for being here too. Seriously, give yourselves a big round of applause. This is amazing. You are, in my opinion, you are part of history in the making right now that Saurabh and Rahul have started, but I think this is where the big digital movement of India will begin, right in this room. So I really, really want to congratulate you for being here. And I'm so excited to see it go. So excited. And you know what? Now that they're both here, I have to ask you guys, what do we think about Rahul? Can we give them a big round of applause? Come on, louder than that. Come on. Amazing. You guys, seriously, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Congratulations. All right. I love you too.
So, are we game?
चलो यार.
ठीक है. So, Anik, first question. What all troubles you have faced to come over here?
Okay. So I remember messaging Saurabh. I said, I think मेरी तकदीर में लिखा नहीं है India आना अभी, because first and foremost, so we have a 9-month baby at home, our first ever. So when Saurabh asked me, will you come to India to speak to an event? I told Saurabh, there's only one way my wife might divorce and leave me, and that is if I go to India without her. And we're not ready to travel with the baby yet. So first and foremost, I had to convince my wife, but she was amazing. She said, go. But then after that, I think we tried to book the tickets and found out my passport is expiring too soon. Then the appointment to go to get the passport renewed was on the day I was supposed to fly to come here. So finally that happened, and I thought, okay, I'll get my passport now. They say, no, you come back later to get the passport. So then I'm telling Saurabh, still can't book my ticket. Anyways, my ticket got booked 15 hours before I had to leave. So right before we left. So it's been quite the journey, but it was meant to be. So I'm here.
And it was a wrong ticket.
Oh, yeah, and then he booked the wrong ticket, wrong day. So I found, I'm messaging him like, this flight leaves very soon. I cannot get on this flight. And then we rebooked it, and I'm here. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'll share what happened. So, हम लोग travel कर रहे थे. We were coming from Goa to Delhi. The flight landed. I told you, backstage. All the passengers got out. The crew got out. सब plane से बाहर आ गए. एक इंसान plane के अंदर बैठा हुआ है. मैं कहा इसको problem क्या है भाई? और मेरे को ना एक टीम मेंबर है बोलती है आपका भाई ऐसे काम क्यों करता है हर समय यार, मतलब everybody has gone out. Why is he still there? So he was actually rescheduling his flights because we did not have time. 10 घंटे बाद इसका flight था, Anik की flight थी. And Saurabh was doing that, but we are finally, somehow we managed. And then he said, I'm so happy, finally I'm coming over here.
Yeah.
Big round of applause for Anik.
Yes, thank you. It's been 4 साल हो गए India आए, 4 साल. And I have never spoken on stage in India ever before, in 20 years. 20 years, this is the first time. First time.
So backstage, when we were doing interaction with some people, a lot of people actually have that question. What actually goes into scaling an organization?
Yeah. So, I've been teaching scaling a lot, and one of the things that I have found is the worst person to scale a company is the entrepreneur. Their traits, their qualities are not the ones that we need to scale. So creativity is what launches a company, but boredom is what scales a company. See, you have to get systems, you have to implement systems, and you have to learn how to do the same thing again and again and again. That's actually scaling. Scaling is not sexy, it's not fun, it's just figuring out what works and doing it again and again and again. And see, entrepreneurs, they don't like that. We get bored. So we end up doing things to blow that up. We make our own, we create new things, new ideas, new products, which is fine, but then you end up disrupting what's working. So scaling is all about figuring out what works and just doing more of it at bigger numbers. That's it. That's genuinely how simple you can make it.
Because unfortunately, people don't even realize what they might consider to be the threshold of their business. They're not even 5-10% there. And then I have met so many people in my coaching. In the first year, they're doing 1 business. Second year, doing 3 businesses. Third year, doing 5 businesses. But the revenue remains the same.
Yeah. I've been there. I've done that too. They say focus is the key, right? So maybe 20 years ago, I had a chance to email Mark Cuban. Everyone know Mark Cuban? Yes? Yes. So I sent him an email and I said, I was just young at that time and I had no business success. I said, I'm very ambitious. I'm building a business. I said, I'm working on 5 ideas. What is the one advice you would give me? And Mark Cuban actually replied to me. And his reply was very short. He said, sorry kid, I have to keep it short. My best advice would be drop 4 and focus on 1. Yeah, thank you. That's for Mark. I was not happy. I did not applaud that advice. I had lots of galis go through my head. I thought, Sala harami kahin ka. खुद तो कितने businesses चलाता है मुझे बोलता है एक कर. I was convinced, sitting in my कच्चा बनियान in my dorm room. I'm like, डरता है ये साला मुझसे. बुरा advice दे रहा है, डरता है. Only some years later, I realized, साला सही बोल रहा था. You drop 4, focus on 1. Same, I'm telling you, please, there's a lot of opportunity, especially in India right now. I'm telling you, I was saying this in the room back there, I'll say it over here. Whatever you think the opportunity in India right now is, multiply that by at least 100. And that's how big I'm seeing the opportunity in India right now. And honestly, even my vision, by the time I leave in a few days, might be times 1,000. Time is on your side. Be patient, but work on one thing at one time and push it, scale it. You have a lot of room you can scale, I promise. But when you find that one thing that's working, please focus on that one thing and let that momentum drive. Let the momentum drive. Don't get bored.
So Anik, when I was at your event, you said something which was like very special. You said that you have not opened your laptop for over a year. So how are you managing that?
Arey, my laptop is not even working right now. Crash ho gaya on the flight here. It's dead. My laptop is completely dead. Acha, so I made a goal, January of last year, 2022. One difference I can tell you is you hear this, maybe, I don't know if it's a common phrase in India or not. They say working on your business, working in your business. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
Yes? I never understood what that meant. And so I can tell you being an entrepreneur is, if people look at me, so the worst thing you can ever say to me, by the way, which will get you very bad looks, don't ever call me lucky. I'm not lucky. I don't believe in luck. And so being an entrepreneur, you have so many challenges you go through every day in your life. People around you, they only see the success. They don't see the scars. And there's lots of scars. It's a normal part. But last year I decided if I'm going to scale, see, you can scale your business, but you also need to scale yourself. Who wants to still keep growing in this room? Raise your hands if you want to keep growing. Right. So the thing is, you cannot grow if you're stuck in any situation. So for me, last year I decided this computer of mine, I'm stuck at this computer. And so I decided I have to build my team and my company in such a way that the only device I need to run my entire organization is this. This is my phone. That's it. Now I can run right now, if I want, from stage. You know, I can send my team. Actually, let's do this real quick, okay? I want to make a video for my team. Can we do this real quick? Can you guys just cheer really, really loud? Can you get really loud? Come on, get really loud. Get really loud. And so if I want to inspire my team, I send them this video on Slack today and say, this is what we're working towards. This is what we're building. This is what we're doing. If my team needs me to be on my laptop, then I've done something wrong as a leader. That's my new belief. And I've actually gotten to the point now that I think I use my laptop or computer maybe half a day an entire week, maybe. And you know, so when I landed here, my laptop crashed. I'm getting this again, just another story of my saga of coming. And would you believe, not for a minute, I didn't even care. It didn't matter to me because I don't need it. I can run I run multiple companies and I run all of the revenue that you mentioned using nothing but my cell phone. And it's been, how many of you started or want to be an entrepreneur for freedom? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. I want to hear you. Freedom? Yes? To bahar niklo, laptop pe na baitho. That's not freedom. So this was my goal. I want to be able to do that. So was it hard? Yes. It'll force you to find the right people for your team. That's the best thing you can do to scale.
What happens is, I second that, a lot of people, they tend to only focus upon having salespeople in their team. We need the closers. Mm-hmm. But what they don't realize is, if there is anybody in my team who can save my time, that person is one of the most valuable people in our organization. So I'll tell you, both of us were actually supposed to come to your event because we have different businesses doing more than 500K. I couldn't, so I had to fix some things here. He called me from the event and he said, "Bhai, Anik has told कि मैंने पिछले एक साल तक laptop use नहीं करा है." I was not there at that event, and that's the only takeaway that I got, and it was the most powerful takeaway. We immediately started implementing it. So in the last 30 days, all the emails, everything has been done by our team.
Wow.
And that was the reason why we were able to do so many webinars. And that's the reason why so many people are here.
There you go. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you. So I got that golden nugget from there.
That's awesome.
So we have a question. What is the difference in the trends that you see in the US market and the Indian market? So we can talk about what is different and what is similar.
One trend is the Indian market loves selfie pictures. Oh my God, so many selfies. No, listen, I am blown away. I'm studying the Indian market. I think what I'm seeing in the Indian market is what we saw in the West maybe 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago. If that's the case, which it is. I have enough evidence. I've asked enough marketers, enough business owners. I've even been this week looking and asking people about their advertising data. I'm a very data-driven person. We can speak to how important data is in scaling a business. And the data I'm hearing is downright frightening. To me, it's scary in a good way because the amount of scale and opportunity in this country right now, I am telling you, every single one of you in this room have zero excuses if in 1 to 2 years you are not wealthy. You have no excuse because the opportunity is just laying in front of you. The trends are exactly the same. It's just, okay, so one trend we did not have 10, 15 years ago in the West was social media. The ability to attract an audience and eyes for free wasn't that popular back then. But today, I mean, it's amazing how much attention you can get for free using free apps on your phone. So what I'm seeing is much bigger opportunity than I've seen in any of the other countries I've been in, right here in this country. And I'm seeing the same trends. Funnels, marketing, social media, paid traffic, conversion optimization, it's all the same. It's all the same. And it's just, but you know what? You guys have an advantage because you can see the past, what has happened. It's almost like you can see the future by looking at the Western market's past. Just do what they're doing today and you'll be ahead of the market. That's why I say there's zero excuses. Really, it's such a huge opportunity.
तो इसका मतलब है कि लोगों को किचन से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा.
किचन से तो बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा भाई. कुछ करो. Hey, yes, up. Everyone here left their kitchen and came, right? They're not stuck in their homes. This is another thing I will say. Post-COVID, this stuck in your home culture, it's not going to work. I'm telling you, it's not the same. You will not succeed being stuck at your home. That's why I said kitchen se bahar nikal ke.
How many of you saw that live stream or you saw that video later on? Awesome.
जब वो अनिक ने उस चीज़ को बोला था, हमने कहा ये तो बहुत पावरफुल है. हमने उसको निकाला उसका क्लिपिंग और उसको एज अ रीमार्केटिंग ऐड रन करा. फिर हमने उसे पूरे लोगों को दिखाया. उसके अराउंड 50 लाख से ज़्यादा इंप्रेशन आए.
Wow.
So Anik, organic, like you just mentioned about organic, right? And paid. You are using both. I'm using both.
Yep.
But a lot of people keep on getting confused कि कब किस stage में उनको कौन सा traffic source use करना है. So your takeaway on that.
Okay. So I was never in favor of organic. I find it slow. I find it tedious. And I don't like कि मेरा audience belongs to Facebook, YouTube, all these other platforms. And they can shut me down anytime, which they have. I've been shut down before. But now, if you ask me for the last 1 year, I have been studying organic and social media the most. And here's the way I would use it now if I'm telling you. And this part is definitely worth writing down, okay? If you're just getting started, you need to use social media, organic, to test your idea. See if you can get some sales. All right, so see if you can attract enough people just to get proof of concept. Use that to test and use it to build your first funnels. Understand what your numbers look like off of free traffic. Then you're going to test with some paid traffic. Right now in India, I have never in my entire life seen cheaper traffic. Not quality, cheaper as in the actual cost. You have so much potential to test quickly. Don't wait around for 2 years just doing content, testing. You're going to waste such precious time in this market right now. And if you are going to be scared and you are going to be slow, your competition is going to eat you because they're not going to have that. So get a proof of concept and then go to market test with paid traffic as soon as you can. Now, assuming it works, scale with paid traffic. Don't rely on free organic traffic because that's not your traffic. You do not own any of that traffic. Just remember that is not your audience. It's owned by a company. However, here is where organic comes back. And this is where I'm a big fan of organic now. As you scale your paid traffic, you're going to start to bring a lot of people into your funnel who do not know you. That means they don't trust you. So your direct marketing may not work on them right away. The video, the webinar, the sales page, the phone call, it's too soon. They just don't know you enough. This is where organic comes into play. Because now you start to show content to those people who you acquired using paid traffic. And over time, you will develop that trust and faith. So actually, it's not either or. You should never be doing either one of the two. The true purpose of paid traffic is to bring new customers into your business who do not know you. The true purpose of organic and social media is to win those people over to trust you. And when you do the two together, you will see the fastest scale in your business.
And the second reason, we also talked about it in the morning. The ads pricing is going to go up. It will keep going up.
It will go up.
Your
Only
businesses will not work if you're only dependent upon paid ads.
Well, 100%. And that's another reason why I say don't wait to start learning and using paid traffic. The prices will only go up. And right now, it is an absolute gold rush. And the traffic is so inexpensive that you can really capitalize the opportunity.
I mean, every single day you are not running a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. You are missing out on a serious opportunity. And just one more thing with respect to product testing. I always say to this because yesterday I was talking to somebody and he was telling me that sir मेरा एक ऐप बन रहा है उसमें 6 महीने हो चुके हैं और मैं ये कर रहा हूँ इतना पैसा सब कुछ लग चुका है और उसके बाद जाके मैं उसे लेके आने वाला हूँ. मैंने कहा यार इतना सारा कमिटमेंट मत करो. उसका एक थोड़ा सा प्रीमियम वर्जन बना के या जस्ट एक पेज बना के कम से कम उसे लेके तो आ जाओ. आर पीपल साइनिंग अप फॉर द वेटिंग लिस्ट? आर पीपल पेइंग फॉर दैट आइडिया? आपने पूरा टाइम पैसा एनर्जी उस आइडिया में डाल दिया है क्योंकि वो मेरे से पूछ रहे थे कि ये चलेगा कि नहीं, जिसमें आप कन्विंस नहीं हो कि चलेगा कि नहीं. सबसे पहले कम से कम उसको टेस्ट कर लो. इवन बिफोर मेकिंग द प्रोडक्ट मेक द सेल्स पेज एंड द सेलिंग मटेरियल एंड ब्रिंग इट आउट. एंड अगर उसमें आपको दिख रहे हैं ऑर्डर्स देन यू कैन टेल देम दैट यू कैन बी ऑन द अर्ली बर्ड लिस्ट, ऑन द वेटिंग लिस्ट. बट डू नॉट इन्वेस्ट योर हार्ड अर्न्ड मनी टाइम जस्ट फॉर बिल्डिंग समथिंग जिसमें अभी आप कन्विंस्ड ही नहीं हो. बिल्ड द सेल्स मटेरियल फर्स्ट.
100%. So I have crores and crores I've devoted just doing exactly that. Building something all the way till the point. You know something I've learned? I've been very humbled in 20 years of being an entrepreneur. And that is I don't know much at all. But the market seems to know everything. So you have this idea and you are convinced that it is the best idea. And I'm sorry to tell you, but there's a good chance that the market disagrees with you. Now, you can either burn money for months, if not years, bring that product to the market and find out that you were wrong, or here's something simple I've done many times. Put up a simple page, which now using something like FlexiFunnels, you can have up and running in no time. Put a proper order button and everything, okay? Act as if this thing is done. All it's there, your features that run a little bit of paid traffic. On the order button, track how many people click the order button. As soon as they click it, have a pop-up that says, sorry, we're currently only building the early bird list. We are not ready yet. All I want to see is how many people came to the page, and of those, how many people clicked the order button. And that's going to give me an idea if I should be investing more time and money into this or not. And I have done that many times, and unfortunately, I can tell you, it has shown that a lot of my ideas, the market does not want.
And more importantly, we end up losing, let's say 1 year, 2 years of ours. We end up losing whatever money we had, and it takes us back not just 2 years, but rather 5 years in your life.
Yes, 100%.
There's a very interesting question. How do you detect blue oceans?
How do you detect blue oceans? You listen. Too many of us do too much talking. As I'm getting more mature as an entrepreneur, I'm learning to zip it and just listen. And you will see, even if you come and talk to me, I'm going to speak less than you, I promise you. Because I'm telling you honestly, you're trying to speak about blue oceans. For me, I believe India is a blue ocean. Right? I think this is a huge opportunity. But I don't understand exactly the market. I have never run one paid traffic campaign to the entire of India. I've never run one ad. I have never done anything. So I don't understand the market. And so before I pretend to know and pretend to see how I can help or serve this market, I'm going to listen. I'm going to come to this event. I'm going to look, I'm going to watch, I'm going to see what you guys are doing. I'm going to see the types of people at the event. I'm watching the other speakers, and I'm learning. So if you want to actually find opportunity, let me tell you, the worst way to find opportunity is to look for it. When you're so busy actively trying to come up with an idea, you'll never come up with one. When you get busy, listen to your family, listen to your siblings, to your parents, listen to the market, listen to the problems people are having. Entrepreneurship, true entrepreneurs get wealthy because they solve problems. That's actually all a great entrepreneur does. So but you can only know that if you listen. And so I'm honestly telling you, more and more and more, I am starting to get to a place where I have just shut my mouth. That's my number one goal.
Not against us, because I ask a lot of questions.
What? No. I'll answer your questions, of course. But I definitely like listening, and I ask a lot of questions. That's the other thing I would tell you guys. I've had a lot of questions asked. And I always, in my last 20 years, I don't know how many people have. The quality of your question is so important. And I mean this to you. So many people have a moment with me in the airport. I'm walking by, they recognize me, and they can I ask you something? I say, sure. I say, what advice would you give me to become successful? And I just stand there and look at them and I said, do we have 3 days for a seminar in this airport right now? What kind of stupid question is this? You know how they say there's no such thing as stupid questions? I disagree. I think there's very much such a thing as stupid questions. Ask something specific. Take that time, make the quality of your questions better. So you will notice when I am asking questions, I am very specific because I'm thinking about the opportunities and I'm trying to figure out and trying to put together. And the way you will piece things together is first of all, you have to be humble. So you don't know everything. I don't know everything. So I always approach anyone I'm talking to as if they know more than me. And then I ask a lot of very good questions. That's how I learn quickly. But blue ocean opportunities are right now all around us. I mean, they're really all around us.
We do a mastermind in my hometown. And there was a person, they missed their cab. So me being me, I dropped them in my car on the way to their bus. And what they are discussing in that car is, today this company acquired this company. And they were talking about it. And then they're like, Rahul, what is your opinion on this? See, if they had not been my mentees, I wouldn't have said anything. But I told them, you're getting a chance, 40 minutes in person with me. Yeah. And this is what you're asking me. They're sitting here, they know it. So that's the problem. People don't even know what to ask. Yeah. That time could have been utilized for so much more productive talk.
And so you know when someone tells me they don't ask good questions, one of the things I know right away is that they have not studied the topic enough. They have not done the research. If you study something enough and you actually go do, so you start trying to implement what you are studying, it's impossible that you will not come up with great questions because you will hit hurdles that are very specific. So ask specific questions, right? So when I want to know, so I was having a meal with Rito here, and we were talking about Facebook ads, and I'm asking him, what's your click-through rate? What's your cost per click? What keywords are you targeting? I'm not asking him, hey, do you think Facebook's a good opportunity right now in India? I'll figure that out. Give me the details. I want to understand. The actual specific questions will help me understand whether Facebook is a good opportunity in India or not. So make your questions more specific. It will absolutely impact your success.
And also keep your questions short. If you ask a lot, you end up getting nothing from us.
Yes, that's true.
So you are writing a book, 17 Ways to Scaling.
Yeah.
And I just got to know, by the way, your top 3 ways to scale.
Even I just got to know I'm writing this book a week ago, so it's still fresh. Number 1 is, it's honestly about, so if you can obsess about your product, I have not done this enough in my life. This is something new I'm doing now. Too many of us are too focused on selling our product. And we don't take enough time to consider the experience of the customer after we've sold them. The best customer you'll ever have in your business is a referred customer. It's never going to be a customer that, when you want to scale a business and you scale it by just buying more traffic, you're always going to be dependent on needing more traffic. But if I have a business where every person that comes to my business refers one more person, think about what that means for your growth. Actually, when the pandemic happened, I watched a movie. So I learned this concept from a Hollywood movie. The movie's name is Contagion. In this movie, they teach you a concept called R-Not. R-Not. It is how they track how viral a virus is, how fast it can spread. And I'm watching this movie, and in my head I'm thinking, I should turn all my customers into little viruses. They should have a very high viral impact. Because if one customer is worth 2, think what I can do to my advertising. Think what that does to my business. And not enough of us think about that. But the only way one customer will be worth about 2 is when you obsess about your product. Like if you think about Steve Jobs and the iPhone, there are so many stories of him keeping his engineers in there for days, obsessing over the smallest things. But then yet we sit here today with iPhone having changed the world. So with your product, do you talk to your customers? Do you see what they're doing? Do you ask them? One of the hardest things we do, it's so hard, is ask customers for feedback. Especially when they give you honest feedback. It's very difficult to take in. But then we have this concept now in my company called iterate. Iterate means new versions. So every time I'm trying to create new versions of my product because I want to increase the viralness of my product. So number 1, I would say, make sure you are getting a lot of referred traffic. Number 2, I would say make sure you know your numbers and you are focusing on paid traffic. Now I just do opposite things. I know that. Because if I know my customers are very viral, I want to spend a lot of money to bring in new customers so that they can become more viruses out there promoting my business. I have scaled to the numbers I have scaled because I am comfortable paying for traffic. I mean, we will spend as much as $1 million in a month on paid traffic. That's what, 8 crores, I think? Yeah. So we'll spend comfortably 8 crores in a month on paid traffic, no issue. Actually, if anything, I tell my team, why are we spending so less? Let's spend more. But that is because we know our numbers. And then the third one, I don't know, man. I'd have to pull up my outline of the book real quick and think about the third one. But I would say team. 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 Everything's about your team. I was miserable building my business and scaling it until my team stepped up. I'm going to be in India. It's going to be a week. When I fly back, I'll probably take a few days off. My business will see 0 hiccups. There will be absolutely 0 issues. And that is when you can scale a company, is when you have that kind of team.
Anik, I have a couple of things to share over here regarding product obsession and customer experience.
Yes.
So you understand GT Matrix, of course, right? GT Matrix is a tool जिसमें कि अगर कोई पेज बन के जाता है लाइव इंटरनेट पे, वो उसके एग्जैक्ट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन दिखाता है और उसका स्कोर दिखाता है कि वो A पे है, B पे है, C पे है, D पे है. Flexifunnels.com का जो होम पेज था, इट्स अ बिग लैंडिंग पेज. हमारे मैक्सिमम पेजेस जो आते हैं वो A पे थे, लेकिन वो इतना बड़ा पेज था, वो A पे नहीं था. वी हैड चैट्स, मी एंड कार्तिक. ओवर अ मंथ मैंने कहा A पे ही चाहिए. Every single page going on FlexiFunnels from any of our customer has to be in A. People can go and check that long big page and they can go and compare with any funnel builder in the world. They can check the ranking, gtmatrix.com. They will see the difference. Number 1.
Let's have a big round of applause for that. Come on. ये वाली ये क्या तालियां हैं? Louder. Yes. देखो, आप मेरी बारी में ताली कम बजाओ चलेगा. सौरभ की बारी में तो तालियां ताबड़तोड़ होनी चाहिए यार, ठीक है ना? ये तो बनता है.
And second, there was a person, he was just trying to test me out. कि सर मैंने ना आपके लाइव चैट सपोर्ट को मैसेज करा, मेरे पे रिप्लाई नहीं आया. मैंने कहा अभी नीचे आओ दिखाओ मेरे को, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? क्योंकि हमने उसके ऊपर ऑटोमेशन ट्रैकिंग लगा रखी है. एवरी सिंगल चैट दैट कम्स इन अ लाइव चैट सपोर्ट वो सारी मेरे पे एक्सेल शीट में आती है हर रात में. और हर चैट पे जो रेटिंग आई है 5 स्टार 4 स्टार 3 स्टार वो सारी मेरे पे एक्सेल शीट में आती है. हर रात को अगर कोई भी रेटिंग 5 स्टार से कम है, वी लुक एट दैट चैट एंड वी टॉक टू द कस्टमर एजेंट कि व्हाई इज इट नॉट 5 स्टार. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. एंड ही सेड दैट ओके.
That's great. That's amazing. Amazing.
So we'll take one more question and then we'll take some questions from the audience.
Sure.
Okay. Mic runners, please be ready. We'll be asking the questions from the audience. So there are also a lot of newbies. Yesterday, Irfan Pathan was sitting over here. I learned something from him. So I said there are a lot of beginners. So he said no, Rahul. यहाँ पे beginners तो हैं, लेकिन वो beginners आने वाले superstars हैं. So you said the right thing, you know. अब मेरे को वो चीज़ याद हो गई है, मेरे दिमाग में fit हो गया वो. So a lot of rock stars in the making. What can they start their journey with?
Anything. Seriously. Do anything. Do something. Too many people who are just waiting. See, here's what happens. I'll give you an honest mental psychoanalysis. जब लोग चालू हो रहे हैं ना स्टार्ट कर, डर होता है बहुत. Especially क्योंकि we have people in our life, mom, dad, कोई भी है जो they don't believe in us. ये क्या कर रहा है? जॉब करो, डिग्री लो, मास्टर्स लो. तो this fear, we don't start anything because we're too scared we'll fail. So what we do is we keep watching, studying, planning, preparing, and we tell ourselves, we convince ourselves that we're doing the right thing. And actually all we're doing is creating excuses. This is why I was saying you have no excuse. You have an idea, you have some product, some service you think you could sell, maybe you can be a coach, maybe you have something. Go log into FlexiFunnels, build a page, it'll take you less than a day, and dare to put it out there to the world and see what happens. And you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For me, my first 18 months, I failed again and again and again and again. But that's the thing. You can't do anything in life without failing first. Anything you are currently successful at, I promise you, you failed many, many times. So if you are waiting to get started, make yourself one commitment today. Actually, please make yourself and make everybody in this room, make Saurabh this commitment and make me this commitment. Just today, before you go to sleep, just do something. Anything. Put a page up. Learn how to use FlexiFunnels. Take your idea, make a social media post. Ask your market a question. Just do anything. So I want to know, how many of you are committed to doing something today before the day is even over? I want to hear it through a noise. Come on. Scream. Okay, but this side, is this side committed? Is this side committed? What about the middle ground here? Awesome. Just do anything. And even if you're already in success and having success, still do something. You know, today when I go back to my room, before I go to sleep, I will still do something. I promise you. Today, whether it is a business meeting I take, someone I ask questions, there doesn't go a day that I don't do something to grow myself or to grow my business. Not one day goes by. So you ask yourself that. If you start doing that, Rahul, success is inevitable. It's just a result. That's it.
What if we plan something amazing, fix it up for you right now, for today?
Okay.
Okay. So we have an amazing, here's one of the speakers here. He runs an amazing podcast. We'll set it up for tonight for you.
Oh, shoot. Wow, okay, I'm really doing something today. Okay.
Got it done.
Awesome.
Okay, we'll take some questions from the audience, please. Okay, Harshil. One more there at the back. Yes. आपको माइक दे देंगे प्लीज. लीजिए लीजिए माइक लीजिए. थैंक यू यार. ये आपने बहुत अच्छी बात कही है. आप बहुत हैंडसम दिख रहे हैं.
हैंडसम. अरे वाह.
आप थोड़ा लंबा क्वेश्चन भी पूछ सकते हैं.
अनिक सर, थैंक यू सो मच। जो आपका मैंने वेबिनार देखा था, जब आपने सौरभ सर के साथ में किया था, उससे मुझे बहुत एज अ मोटिवेशन या एक पर्पस मिला था कि कुछ करो, आगे बढ़ो और चालू करो। जो आपने वहां पे बोला था, घर से बाहर निकल और काम कर, वो मुझे बहुत ड्राइव किया। तो मुझे ये मेरा मेन क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपका पर्पस क्या है जो आपको ड्राइव करता है रोज काम करने के लिए, रोज आगे बढ़ने के लिए?
Honestly, very good question, first of all. And ये line ना, I think India में I want this to be like my like slogan, कुछ करो. So can everyone in the audience just on the count of 3, can you just say कुछ करो, please? Say this to yourself. 1, 2, 3.
कुछ करो।
ठीक था, थोड़ा weak था. एक और 1, 2, 3.
कुछ करो।
Okay, so I have made all the money I need. I live in my dream home. I drive my dream cars. I fly first class. I do everything I dreamt of doing 20 years ago when I started. Now, what drives me is hearing something like what you just said. See, that webinar I did at 9 in the morning, I was complaining. I said, Saurabh, yaar, main itne subah nahi uth sakta. Itne subah webinar nahi kar sakta. Uth jata hoon, but dimag on nahi hota mera. And he's like, no, we have to do it. I said, okay. But then to hear, then to see, okay, 1,300 people. So for me, it's all about impact now. It's all about trying to change as many lives, awaken as many people, and give people an alternate option. I don't like our traditional educational system. I don't like it at all. I don't think institution-based education is important. I'm saying it honestly. I'm saying it honestly. And I know in India especially, right? We have a joke we were talking about in the back room, like, कोई webinar पे आएगा बोलेगा certificate मिलेगा क्या? Like, क्या यार?
For a free webinar.
क्या certificate को क्या करेगा तू? It's the knowledge, right? So I want to change the culture. I don't need to learn from a professor at a university who has never done the thing for 20 years. I want to learn from the person doing it today. So for me, that's become my mission, is to offer an alternate way to learn. And that's what drives me every day.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Love you too.
So, it becomes so difficult going to universities to speak.
Yeah, I know.
Because I want to speak so much, and then I have been invited by the chancellors, and they're sitting in the front row. How do you say, don't come here back, don't come back again to your
Everyone
classes.
quit and go join FlexiFunnels.
Now
That's
I'm
my
like,
advice.
I'll only come to speak at your college if the authorities are not there, if only the students are there.
Yeah, that's
Next question, please. Okay. Next. Okay.
Hello.
अगला question आपको देंगे.
Hi,
Next,
Anik.
next.
First of all, welcome to India from all of the 4,300 people sitting here in the entire India.
Thank you. I love it.
So, Anik, in your book Escape, you wrote that you wanted to make a decision, and then while you were driving in your car, you came across a turtle, a big turtle, as you mentioned in your book Escape, and then you started going back home, and you wanted to make a decision. So something hit your mind, and you came back and saw that the turtle could die. So you just came back to save that turtle, and the turtle was gone. And you were so amazed that how did that turtle cross the road so fast? You were just 2 minutes away from that. And then you were actually going through that confusion that you wanted to make a decision to either become an entrepreneur or go for your medical degree. And then you suddenly realize that you have made your decision. So, since I've read your book, I have been trying to understand how did you make that decision? So the question here is that there are 4,300 upcoming entrepreneurs sitting here in this room. Credit goes to Saurabh and Rahul, of course. Yes. So a round of applause, guys. And they have to take the decision to become an entrepreneur, and the most difficult part is they have to go against the society, against the parents, obviously, because the parents usually tell them to do the job. So how do they make that decision, and how did you make that decision? So, because you understand, right? When you go against the decision of your parents, same thing happened to me. It becomes very hard when your parents are saying that you cannot become an entrepreneur, you have to do a job. Obviously. Do you agree, guys? So this question is from all the 4,300 entrepreneurs on behalf of them. I just want you to tell them how their decision can become easy. How can they convince the parents, the society, and all that? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. And what? Okay, so from your question, one thing I picked up is that there is a decision you are personally struggling with. You asked on behalf of everybody else, but I think there's something you're struggling with yourself.
Well, I struggled a lot when I started. I have been into the digital marketing space for 15 years now. But this was a very complex decision for me to convince my father. And that turtle thing stuck in my mind since I read your book. And because I feel that every entrepreneur is kind of an alien. If entrepreneurs don't support other entrepreneurs, aliens would get extinct.
Yeah.
And this room is filled with aliens, and that's where we all will grow. So I just want to make sure that everybody here grows and becomes wealthy, just like you said.
Yeah. So listen, I cannot tell everyone in the room how to make their decisions because it's complex, right? Especially a decision as big as becoming an entrepreneur. Let's not kid ourselves. There's risk involved being an entrepreneur. The chances of you failing are more than succeeding. For me, I've learned a few things in my life, and this might help you make some decisions. First of all, when we are looking to make a decision, हम चाहते हैं कि हमको ना पूरा information होए, सब 100%. I want to know अगर ये हुआ कैसे होगा, ये हुआ कैसे. I want plan for everything. I want full knowledge, and you're never going to get that. I find that if you have access to 50, 60, maybe 70% of the information you need, most times, 9 times out of 10, your decision will be the same that it would have been if you had access to 100% of the information. But you will save years. That extra 30% of information will take you forever. You may miss the opportunity. So I was once, a more powerful story I'll tell you is I was at a Tony Robbins event. And I got invited to the back room, and Tony is going person by person shaking hands. This is 18 plus years ago. And he's standing right before me, okay? Tony's a big guy. He's standing right in front of me. He reaches out to shake my hand, and someone from the other side of the room says, "Sir, Tony, what is your greatest secret to success?" I wanted to take something and throw it at that idiot. I was like, what a stupid question. And this is my time, you know? And Tony laughs. And he's looking right at me, like I asked the question. I'm like, I had nothing to do with this stupid question. Don't look at me. He's looking right at me, and he says, "I'll tell you, you know what, I'll answer the question." And I'm like, I didn't ask this stupid question. And he's like, "Make fast decisions." And he just moved on. Can I tell you something? You're going to make wrong decisions. It's okay. It's okay. If you make a wrong decision, you can undo the wrong decision. Stop being so scared of doing the wrong thing. Sometimes what I tell people when I say, hey, you have a decision to make, they'll say, yeah, I can't decide between this or this. I say, what scares you the most? They say this. I say, great, do that. That's probably where your real heart's at. So for me, I have to give my parents full credit because they were amazing. I was scared of telling them, but they were very supportive. Very supportive. They supported me in making my transition. They didn't make it hard on me. But I'll tell you another secret is 10 years later, once I had become successful, I remember a party, my parents are at the party and my dad is sitting there and he's talking to someone and uncles got their whiskey out and everyone's having a good old time. And I overhear someone say to my dad, "Hey, you two must be so proud of Anik. He's become so successful." And my dad says, he said, he's an entrepreneur. He's done so well. And my dad says, "I told him since he was a kid he should be an entrepreneur. I don't know why he wasn't doing it." And I'm listening to this and I was like, well, that's not true, but okay, Dad, I'll give you this one. So you want to make someone support, you want to get support from someone, prove them wrong. Stop letting their doubt in you hold you back. Why don't you let their doubt in you motivate you to prove them freaking wrong? There's still people in my family that doubt me.
No.
Right now, the fact that I'm in India, क्यों गया? India में क्या है? India में कुछ नहीं है. India में क्यों गया है? अबे, if I listen to them, then I miss this blue ocean. So I don't care what they think. That's why I say kuch karo. Why do we care what people think? Now I care what my parents think. I care what my family thinks. But in the end of the day, listen, when I wake up, who's with me? Me. When I go to sleep, who's with me? Me. During the day, who's with me? Me. Not anyone else. So if I'm going to live my life miserably because it's making someone else happy, how stupid is that? How miserable is that? I refuse to live like that. So I make big decisions and I make them fast. And I make wrong decisions and I then make more decisions fast and I recover from them. So what I would tell you is whatever you're struggling to make a decision on today, make the decision. What will happen? What's the worst that can happen? Just make the decision. And if it's wrong, you get to make another decision tomorrow. But at least do something. Kuch karo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we take the next question, I like your storytelling skills, bro.
Oh, thank you.
They're awesome.
अबे कुछ नहीं देखा अभी तो. थोड़ा time दे.
Okay. No, that person here. Please. Hanji. He was waiting.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
थोड़ा सा तेज बोलिए आप, बुलंद.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, my question is we all have emphasized on the importance of creating content for running an online business. So my question is Anik is giving so many offbeat and very powerful advice, suggestions. So is there any way to run an online business without creating much content?
What kind of business do you want to build?
There may be so many people because most of us go inconsistent in creating content. So can there be any way to run online business, online business specifically, without creating much content, if not at all content?
Okay. So the question is, can you build an online business without creating much content? I have two answers that come to mind. One is, do I say it? Do I say this? Anyone ever watch my webinars? That I have an alter ego. I call him Coach Anik. Anyone ever seen Coach Anik? One person has seen. Coach Anik is not a nice person. So Coach Anik would say कि आपके क्वेश्चन में मुझे बहुत लेजीनेस सुन रहा है. सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ कि मुझे सक्सेस चाहिए बजाय काम नहीं करना. Right? ठीक है. I also, content is hard to make. If you want to be a digital entrepreneur in the sense, you want to be a course seller, a coach, a consultant, you have to create content. That's your IP. That's what you have to do. You have to create it. If you don't want to create content, then don't become a coach or a course seller, okay? Now, maybe you want to start an e-commerce business. In e-commerce businesses, you don't have to create content necessarily, but they have their own challenges. You will have to create more ads. You will have to do better photography. You still have to create some form of content, right? Because how does the market learn about you? So I want to answer your question and I want to challenge you to create content. Do it a few times. It is not easy to do, but it is the easiest way to get attention for any kind of business you will do. But yes, the second answer is, yes, you absolutely can build a business without creating content. It's just harder. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll have somebody from here. थोड़ा पीछे वालों को. हाँ जी सर, आइए. आप इनिशिएट
और किसको कोच आनिक से सुनना है?
बोलिए.
Hi Anik sir, Jayan this side from Bangalore. So I have a problem with me. So I'm into e-commerce. I started working for a full-time job from last 6 months. So I also have a freelancing job, like work on the side. So now my question is like, I'm into like, sorry. So on the one side, I'm doing a freelancing work. On the other side, I want to start an e-commerce business. So in my college days, I started e-commerce business 3 times, and I failed it because of like multiple reasons. So, but I still want to like start in e-commerce business. So sometimes I'll get an ego that how long will you be like shall I be doing the freelancing work? Like when will I start my own e-commerce business? So my question is, which one to focus now? I mean, when is the right time to build a product? Like, I just want to know
Sure.
your suggestion about it.
So there's no answer for that question. I can't tell you when the right time to do something is, but I can tell you you're probably doing too many things. You have a full-time job, you have a freelancing business, you want to do e-commerce. Do you have a family also?
Yes.
Kids?
No.
No kids. Okay, so you have some time then. But again, I go back to simplicity. Why is your freelance, why is that not a business? Why do you look at that as this?
So I want to start my own e-commerce brand. So that's my like major goal.
Okay,
But I'm doing freelancing for side income.
okay. So I think you have to figure out what you really want to do and devote to that one thing. And an e-commerce brand, I want to do an e-commerce brand is like me saying to someone, I want to sell courses. The next question is about what? What impact do you want to have? What product do you want to sell? What problems is it solving? And so the answer to your question is much deeper, but I also want to invite you to really focusing more so that you can pick one thing and then really focus on it. And maybe the reason you didn't succeed in the e-commerce businesses before, which that never bothers me, by the way. I failed at many things multiple times before I finally succeeded. So that doesn't mean that you should not do e-commerce. Who cares? But why did you fail each of those times? You have to go analyze that, figure out why you failed, and then on the fourth try when you do it, make sure you don't make those mistakes again. But what are you really trying? What problem are you solving? Even e-commerce, yeah, people think, oh, I'm just selling, something. No, in the end, you're solving a problem. It might be a smaller problem, but you're solving a problem. What is that problem? How committed to the problem are you? And how good is your solution? That's going to determine if you succeed or not. Nothing else.
So I have 2 ways like that I'm seeing in front of me. One is focus on full-time, like focus on fully on freelancing, and then stack up some money and then start e-commerce, or else like do job and freelancing both, and then like as the money comes from both job and freelancing, put that slowly into e-commerce and build the e-commerce business start like slowly.
How is your freelancing business doing? Is it do well?
Yeah, it's like normal, like I'm earning as much as my job.
So that sounds like you're doing well. So what if you put more focus on that, grew that, use that as the tool to quit your job, then you have more time, so you have things you can focus on, and then over time you can build the e-commerce brand. But you have momentum in your freelancing business, and you're not using it, you're looking at the shiny object over here. So I would tell you, look for where you have, this advice goes to everybody in this room. Ask yourself in your life, where do you have momentum right now? Okay? I'll give you guys a visual, you can remember this forever, about momentum. This gets to Newton's laws of physics. If a car is standing and you have to put it, it's not working, okay? How many times you've seen people pushing a car? You put it in neutral. In order to get the car to move, you need 3, 4, 5 people pushing with all their might. Once the car is moving, you don't need nearly as much strength to keep it moving because of the momentum. So the hardest thing to get in a business or in your life is momentum. And too many of us, the minute we get that momentum, we get bored and look for the next car that's not moving and start trying to push it. What I'm saying is if you have momentum in your freelancing business, I think you should devote to that.
We can take one more question, please. Just one. This is such a tough choice for me to. We gave you your chance yesterday. आपको कल आपका मौका मिला. सर आपसे मेरी बात हो गई थी. आप बोलिए. Yeah.
याद रखना ये राहुल का डिसीजन था, मेरे पे ना नाराज होना. I had nothing to do with this.
Hello, Anik sir.
Hi.
Very welcome to the India. One thing I would like to ask is that so many people are here who have started already, and so many people are here who haven't started, and you failed almost 18 times before getting to the success. So what advice would you give to the people who haven't started, even if they face failure? How would they keep their spirit high to start their next venture?
See, you have to change how you think about failure. To me, failure is not, you don't fail until you stop trying. You know that? So when you don't succeed at something, you have not failed until you quit. When you quit is when you fail. And quitting is a choice. So if you've actually failed, you chose it. You chose to fail. I refuse to choose that. I don't fail. So for me, when something doesn't work, it's not a failure, it's just something didn't work. Ever seen a kid trying to walk? I'm fascinated watching children. They stand up, they're trying to walk, they fall down. But yet they try again right away. And they try again, and they try again. So what happens is they don't have awareness. As kids, we don't have awareness of what are other people thinking? What does this look like? What if I fall again? All we see as kids is everybody else is walking. So I have to figure this out. So the more, for me, surround yourself in the right communities so that around you, people are succeeding. That's why you should be in this room, and that's why you should make sure you meet others in this room, because you want to surround yourself with people who every day prove to you that success is possible. So the way I get through it is I surround myself with the right community. I don't look at failure as a final thing. I look at failure as just an attempt. And then I remind myself, failure only comes when I choose to fail by quitting. And until I have made that choice, I'm still trying. I haven't actually failed. So it's just changing how you look at and think about failure.
The thing is that so many people are here, since I'm in who are not from a good background. And when they're not generating any good revenue and they fail multiple times, it becomes very hard and lonely, and it's very difficult to answer your parents that what are you doing with your life. And in that condition, getting up again and starting a new venture will become very difficult for anyone here. I have been through such situations 2-3 times. Now I'm doing well, and with the help of sir, I'm doing quite well. But the thing is, that's why I'm asking this question: what to do in that particular situation when people are not good, their background is not sound, their family is not that much good.
You have to work harder. You try harder. That's why I said, let that turn into your inspiration and your motivation. Don't let that hold you back, because that will never go away, by the way. The people in your life who challenge you and question you won't stop magically because you made some money. The challengers will still be in your life. They are in my life every day. You just learn to drown them out more, and you learn to work harder, and you learn to focus on what you're doing and not what others are thinking about. So for me, if I have someone who's challenging me or questioning me and my failure is being used against me, I just use that to inspire me. Think about how much sweeter the victory will be if you've had a lot of struggle, right? So I use that to really inspire me, and I look forward to the victory. But everyone, I mean, guys, Saurabh, Rahul, we have struggles every day. It is not easy. I mean, every day I'm struggling like crazy. It's just a part of being an entrepreneur.
Both of us,
मैं
same thing we have on our mind, same genes. Bro, you got to get out of that victim zone. आप यहाँ पे 4,000 लोगों के सामने बोल रहे हो कि मैं ऐसे background से आता हूँ. You have already given the reason to your mind to quit. Understand that. आप अपने mind को पहले ही बोल चुके हो कि I was waiting कि I have to say this because this is very important. आपने अपने mind को तो पहले ही बोल दिया यार कि मैं एक ऐसे background से आता हूँ, तो अगर मैं नहीं भी कर पाऊंगा तो I will blame it on my background. कल इरफान पठान आए थे, वो एक कमरे से शुरू करके आज कहाँ पहुंचे हुए, ऐसे कितने एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. एंड सी, मैं आपको अच्छी बातें बोल सकता हूँ, लेकिन दैट वुड नॉट सर्व द पर्पस. You need to understand, you need to get out of that victim zone, and this is for everyone. If you're going to be in that victim zone, your mind will always give you an excuse why not to do it.
I just say one. This is for everyone, not just for you. And I want everyone to hear this, okay? Just listen, because this is the most important thing I might say to you the entire time I'm here. There's only one person that can truly impact your success or your failure. There's only one person, and that is you. I don't care where you live, how you live. I mean that. There's only one person. It's the person you wake up with. It's the person you go to sleep with. Now, other people can influence or demotivate you, but they cannot control you. So don't let them become vehicles of, don't become a victim. I have never, ever in my life been a victim. Listen, I have nearly died. I have medical conditions. I have faced more struggle than we have time to go over. But none of that happened to me. It happened for me. And it's made me into who I am today, and it's made me into the person who got invited to speak on this stage. It was not my successes that got me on this stage. It was my struggles that got me on this stage. So remind yourself of that. Please always remind yourself that it is your struggles that make you successful, not the other way around.
And how many failure stories do we want to hear? पहले दिन हमने हमारी वाले की बात करी, कल इरफान पठान यहाँ पे आ रखे थे, उन्होंने अपनी फेलियर स्टोरीज की बात करी. सब यही कह रहे हैं कि यार फेल हो गए ही हो गए. सचिन तेंदुलकर सर की बात करी, फेल हो गए ही हो गए, लेकिन काम करते जाओगे चीज़ें होएंगी. Asking the right question, Anik was saying that. The question that I want to ask to Anik, जो कि शायद सबके लिए relevant ना हो, मैंने इसलिए नहीं पूछा, but that is, Anik, email marketing is what makes me maximum money. I believe that is the same for you, right? How do you nurture your email list? That's the right question. 5 word का question. How do you nurture your email list? Khatam. That's what we want to hear from him. Asking the right questions. Top 5 skill sets. Okay, for everybody, top 5 skill sets. Copywriting, Facebook ad, according to you, whatever you think. So that it is relevant for everyone.
Yeah, so I don't think copywriting is a top skill, I'll be honest with you. So one thing is learn to sell. Learn to influence. I think that's top 4 out of the top 5. Okay, now people say, no, mujhe bechna nahi acha lagta. I don't like being a salesman. I'm not a salesperson. How many of you in this room are married? Raise your hand. How many of you in this room have a sibling? Raise your hand. How many of you in this room have another human that you have a relationship with? Raise your hand. Abe tum sab, you are all salespeople. You are all salespeople. You being at this event, you had to sell somebody to let you come to this event. You sell every day. If you go to a job, you're selling something every day. You are already in sales, so learn influence. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to influence people. Use those powers for good. Don't use them for evil, but learn how to influence, whether that be through copywriting or through selling or through making more videos. You said earlier, you like how I tell stories. That is a mode of influence. Right? There's a lot going on when I tell a story that brings our connection, that makes you understand me. I use visuals in how I talk so that you can be more connected. I pause. I raise my volume. I decrease my volume. Right? I tell you guys, raise your hands. Everyone, raise your right hand right now. Abhi kyun raise kar rahe ho? Pata bhi nahi why you're raising your hands. I just said raise your hands, you're raising your hands. This is communication. Number 2, communication. You know what most people don't realize is I'm a big time introvert. I love being on stage. But outside I'm quiet. I like to be by myself. But I can communicate with my team, with my customers. I learned to communicate. That was a skill I had to build. It was not a skill I had. I could not even stand up in front of 3 people and say my name. And today it is amazing that I will travel to other countries and speak to 4,000 people and be completely comfortable. I wasn't born with that. I had to learn that. Number 3, learn how to lead. I will tell you, leadership has been my biggest challenge, but also been my biggest gift. Number 4, find a problem that you can solve. See, these are not 5 you would have even expected, I would have said, but they're the most important. Find a problem you can solve. I found years ago that no one was understanding email marketing well. How many years have we been hearing email's dead, email's dead, email's dead, email's dead? Email's not dead. Even the other day, someone told me, they're like, oh, you want to grow in India, don't use email. Email's dead. I'm like, how many of you check your email address at least once a day? email's dead.
Let's ask them a different question, okay? How many of you bought the tickets for this event from the link that was sent on your email? Please raise your hand.
See? So I found a problem and I solved it. And you know that solution has made me, I don't know, maybe 300-400 crores in sales. Some simple solution. People misunderstand email, let me solve that. And the fifth one, are you ready? कुछ करो. भाई बहनों कुछ करो यार. Leave out, go outside, do something, stop talking. सुन के कान पक्के हैं सबके. मैं ये करूंगा, मैं वो करूंगी, मैं ये करूंगा. Just go do it. कुछ
आप यहाँ पे आए हैं वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप इस मोमेंटम को कितने समय तक कैरी करते हैं. दैट इज वेरी समबडी सेड इसी के लिए तो आए हैं.
इसलिए तो आए हैं. हाँ ठीक है. ओके फाइन. पर मैं चैलेंज करता हूँ अभी. Someone who said कि इसलिए तो आए हैं यहाँ पे. मैं गारंटी करता हूँ that when you get back to your life, listen, life is waiting. यहाँ पे तो you feel great. Life is waiting. Challenges are waiting. Okay? घर पे पत्नी नाराज बैठी है. She's ready for you. तो जैसे घर वापस जाओगे सब पानी पड़ने वाला है. But you have to keep that same momentum. कुछ करने के लिए आए हो. हाँ ठीक है. You came, but अब कुछ करो. The learning, the training, the videos, the talking, that means nothing in the end. Okay? It means nothing. These guys did not get here because they spoke or they attended events or they took training. Right? Even Saurabh came to the event in US, and every opportunity he had, he asked me questions. Every opportunity he had, he took action. And he actually stayed back in India for a week because I had told him I would meet with him. He stayed back for a week. I couldn't meet with him because I ended up getting COVID. But then we had a follow-up meeting, and by the time I met with him, he had already started implementing the things he had learned at the event. It had been only 1 week. Only 1 week. So how many of you? अच्छा किसने बोला था कि इसीलिए तो आए हैं? किसने बोला था? Stand up, stand up. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, I can't see. Oh, he's raising hands. Okay. For him, okay? Everyone here, can you commit that you have 1 week? You're going to be like Saurabh. You're going to at least implement one thing you've learned at this event within 1 week. Minimum, you will do one thing at least. You commit that. Then success is only a matter of time. That's it.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Anik for you. Let's give him a standing ovation. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to take one picture with the audience.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll make this video.
All right, let's do a picture. All right, we're going to do a video. Ready? Get loud. All right, guys, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Rahul, Saurabh, thank you so much for having me here.